In this video I got another unit that I picked up almost for nothing in a collection of other stuff. I know it's got 70 volt line input and a bunch of volume control, so I assume this was made up by someone for a PA system. I thought it's got one of these nice instrument boxes and some useful knobs and some sort of pots in there. And strangely, it looks like they've used a moulded VGA lead. This would have had a 9-pin connector or another 15-pin connector on the end, depending which sort it was. And I guess that's just so they got moldable connections to a wall. Since you can get wall plates with VGA plugs, maybe they just thought that's a good way to do a multi-pin connector. So I assume that would have gone in the back of a PA amp if it's a 70 volt line type. But it'd be interesting to see what's actually inside this thing. Something screwed on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, we've got a big resistor. Looks like it's dropping the input. That's just a lump of metal. I think that's magnetic. So that must just be to stop it sliding around so much or whatever. Put a bit of weight in it because these boxes are very light. So we've got a 470 ohm wire wound resistor. Looks like it's been taken out of something because it's still got the lacquer on it. But it definitely looks like something out of a piece of Japanese equipment or something. Don't think you could buy them with these mounting brackets on. Oh, I actually got dual gang pots. 5 10k dual gangs. And one, looks like another 10k single one. Does that say made in Australia? Must be a bit of new old stock in here if it is. I mean, this could have been made a long time ago too. What does that say? IRH, I think. IRH Australia, that one is. Wow. And the others, I've never seen them with the label stuck on the back's a bit weird. Looks like it's covering up some other rating underneath. Oh, I wonder if they got them out of something. Oh, they got grub screws on them. These knobs. So they must be the D-shafted, D-type shaft. Yeah, just been cut down. I think these knobs you can get from Dick Smith or whatever. So what have they done here? They've got, that's all our outputs, I guess. That's one side of the input is common to all those lines. To one side of the pot, so I guess we call that one ground. The other one comes, and it comes to this line. So what's the other pot do? Waiting room, counter, room 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess, yeah, homemade labels as well. And they've got a 1k resistor to each side of the pot. The wipers joined together. So I guess the wipers are the output of each one. The other side goes to the ground. So you've got the pot across the 70 volt line via 1k resistors to each resistant element in the pot, the fixed part. Yeah, it looks like they've used 2 wires out of this cable, since they're tiny little things, for each output. We've got one connection here which must be the ground type. It connects to the ground input, and then a grey wire as well, and a black. That's another output. So I guess, yeah, this would have RGB in it, and they used to be sinks, I think, horizontal and vertical sync, the white and yellow, if it's a standard VGA cable. And yeah, for some reason they just used a single gang pot with a 180 ohm resistor. So the waiting room must have wanted to be a bit louder or something. Yeah, maybe that's the idea. The waiting room, if it's a doctor's or something, they probably want a fairly loud volume in that one, like proper background music, whereas the other rooms, they probably wanted it a lot quieter. So they've dropped them with 1k resistors. And that's all it is. The wiper either goes to the ground side or to the sort of the output side. And I think the idea was just in PA amps you had either 100 volt or 70 volt line was like a sort of different impedance and higher voltage, so you didn't have the cable drop, so you could do long cable runs and still get the same sort of speaker quality and volume out of it. So really it's just something I bought for parts, and given the price of those pots these days, it was a good deal, I think. And possibly this box could be used for something. I guess I probably should cut that VGA cable off. I don't think I'm going to need it for anything. But these are just like a Dick Smith box. I'm not sure what they cost. They're not that expensive. And yeah, not necessarily a lot of use when it's got holes drilled all through it. But these screws were always the thing that were hard to find. If you lost them, you're stuffed, because I don't think anything else has the same threads. And occasionally you'd pull something apart, some kit you build to do something to it, and left it lying around, and then you couldn't find the screws. And I don't think they sold them separately, which was a pain. But that's that little gadget, so if anyone needs to make a volume control for a PA system, that looks like how you do it. So thanks for watching.